Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with the big picture. As always, it was a settlement. It'll be 2 weeks ago this Thursday. Looks like 3 weeks on the chart, but really more like 2 weeks ago this Thursday that we settled above the 361.30 2.5-year channel top. It, among other elements, 50% upside retracement, as you recall, contained buying pressures quite well starting in early May. And there were several attempts before a couple of weeks ago we closed above 361.30. That has now indicated 523.57 as a 5-year channel top, able to contain buying through, it's a 5 to 8 month target, right? And so I keep saying maybe sooner, and that sooner would clearly emerge or identify itself if we were to now close the week above the 458.82 rising channel top, which is on the daily chart at 452.25. So you can see these two areas here to the far right, 452.25, 458.82. This range of resistance narrowing daily because 458.82 is a static level all week long on the weekly chart, but the daily chart rises 452.25 on a daily basis, able to contain buying, I'm going to say, through October. And if you've been long for the last couple of weeks, this is an area to trim some of that long position. Take some profits, because from here we can fall away into the 360s again, quite possibly by the end of October. The beginning of that sell-off process, I think, emerges, or at least begins to show its hand with the settlement not only today below 426.11, but we also have this sort of newly formed rising channel bottom over the last week, based in part on Monday's high at 425.09. So 425.09 is our down pivot through the rest of the week. If we close today, Tuesday, below 425.09, we could quite possibly by Friday's close with present volatility test the 397.93 level. Now, I mentioned how once we test the 452.25 channel top, which I can't say we tested yesterday, but we became pretty darn close, that once tested, within 2 or 3 weeks, we can fall back to 397.93, and by the end of October, all the way back into the 360s. It would be a settlement today below 425.09 that would set up 397.93 as a 3 to 5 day target. So you've got a 3 to 5 day swing trade here. 425.09, you can buy into that. Bullish momentum remains clearly intact through the week above 425.09, in reach of 452.25. If we close below 425.09, we pivot south over the 3 to 5 day time frame to 397.93, where we could bottom out through next week, possibly the balance of September, which I think is about the same thing, and from here round up into the 450s within 2 to 3 weeks of testing 397.93. That's why I give it kind of a 1 to 2 months, or by the end of October perhaps, holding below, or once we test the 450s, that we can fall back into the 360s. And if we were over the next couple of weeks to close below 397.93, we're just a week or two away from testing that 361.30 level, which is really part of a range. Do I show it anywhere today? I don't think I do. There's a rising 1/3 speed lines and things going on, but it really is 361.30, 362.30. I'm kind of combing through the images right now, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So there you have it. Anyway, you're seeing everything we have. Let's talk upside once again.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
I've already mentioned how, and you can rewind and play it again if you like, closing below 425.09. We've got a good high for the week, and the market pivots south to 397.93 within 3 to 5 days. We came close to testing 452 and a quarter, on Monday. We didn't test it outright, so, I can't fault anybody if they didn't sell the market short in this zone. Or take some profits because we didn't rally all the way up to it. But I will say that if you're just sort of waiting for that price point and wanting to sell it, if we close today below 425.09, I think you should not expect that anytime soon. And I think either taking profits at a lower price below 425.09, I think that's not a bad idea actually, because once we test this channel top, we can fall all the way to channel support, which is and will be in the 350s and climbing. So it is actually quite consistent. This trend line, which will become a channel bottom once we test the channel top, is consistent and increasingly so with the 361.30 long-term support level we find here. You can see the wave counts that we have in the 426.11 to 426.67 area. Holding above that right now. We'll keep 458.82 in reach this week. That is that range that begins at 452 and a quarter. But once again, if we close today, for instance, below 425.09, that is an aggressive sell signal through the rest of the week, and it actually could potentially play out into October, all the way back into the 360s. I think I've pretty much said it all. Please click like, share, subscribe, share with friends. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow with Wednesday's Tesla report, and you have a great day.